And then here I'm in my coping mechanisms. If I'm an alcoholic, I'm going to be in all this stuff. So I'm going to be in my denial. I'm not going to be looking at things. I'm going to be lying to myself. I'm going to be believing lies. I'm going to be all tangled up in so many lies because I don't know how to live in truth yet. I'm in control. And then I'm going to have all this low self-esteem, right? All wrapped up internally inside of me as well. And how am I going to live a great life with that? I'm going to be abandoning myself all the time because I think that maybe if I abandon myself enough times, every time, that then it'll be my turn. Then they're going to see. Then they'll pay me back. Then they'll love me the way I need to be loved. Then, when that happens, then it'll be okay for me. Then I'll know that I'm lovable. That low self-esteem is going to stop me from fulfilling tasks, dreams, being able to show up for myself and my partner. That low self-esteem is going to keep me hiding. It's going to keep me not going for things that I want. I'm not going to have strength and courage to make decisions that are best for me. I'm going to make decisions just to make sure that there's no confrontation, there's no reaction, and that as long as I stay quiet and silent and over here and don't ever need or want anything or don't ever have an emotion, that for some reason my life's going to be better. I'm going to believe that lie because I'm in my denial and I have no courage because I have no self-esteem. I'm going to have no trust with myself because I actually never listen to myself. So here we go. That's all a bunch of denial wrapped up with a bunch of control, which is holding things, hanging on to things, making things happen. I'm exhausted because I'm doing all that. And then I'm going to be, in my avoidant patterns, which means if anyone else has an emotion, that's going to be silly. I'm not going to acknowledge that. Look how much I've had to sacrifice. I'm going to make it about me. I'm not going to show up for you. I'm not going to show up for me. I'm going to avoid whatever I have to do because that gives me a sense of control. You're going to need something or want something from me, or I'm going to need something. Well, I'm going to make sure I downplay that. I'm going to make sure that I'm not being truthful with myself. And then there's going to be compliance. All this bad coping mechanism is my alcoholic brain when I'm not sober yet. And it takes years to fix this stuff. But now you got your compliance, which means I'm just going to be saying yeses where I mean no's and no's where I mean yeses. And that means internally, externally. That means I'm not going to have strong boundaries. I'm not going to have really good priorities. I'm going to be working in jobs that I don't like. I'm going to be in relationships that I don't like. I'm in love with a belief that's not there and real. But I think one day it's going to come true and it's going to happen. That is sickness. And that's how your soul rots. Because you're not feeling, you're not truthful, you're in all that. Like I was in all of that entanglement and enmeshment. Everything was this one big mixing pot of crud, of bad stuff. And I thought because I can high function or make things happen or have control or, be so avoidant that I don't let feelings in, I thought that was strength. But that's not strength. Strength is having feelings and having them, and then they're not overpowering you. Emotions got to happen, but it's like, it takes time to get to that place to be like, have the emotion, and then what do I do? There's a pause with that. But as like that, alcoholic in the beginning, emotions were doing things. I wasn't me. It wasn't my true heart. It wasn't my soul. It wasn't my true honest decision. It was my emotions decision. And, that's not going to give me the life that I want. But it's easy to think that you're strong when you're in an avoidant behavior and you dismiss things or you're indifferent. You're not actually letting that feeling happen. It's not even actually coming in. It's being stuffed down or it's not actually being acknowledged. And that's not strong. That's just like being too tough. You're not actually reading the signal that you need to read to be able to make a clear decision on what's best for you. And so holding up that control, super exhausting. It doesn't work. It's an illusion. And I was a person that believed that control was doing something. And, not having the courage to choose for myself, like with all those compliant behaviors and lying to myself all the time. Like, my situation isn't that bad. Well, I don't care if I just, I'll keep trying. We'll keep doing therapy, or that's okay. Like, this house is pretty good, or this job's okay. Like, oh, it's okay. She wasn't that mean to me. Like, that's like denial, right? It's just like total downplaying something that might actually hurt my feelings. Like, the truth is, like, did that really hurt me or affect me? Do I really like being disrespected? Like, how long do I want to be treated like this and allow that for myself? Like, how long do I want to betray myself, abandon myself, and put all my dreams and who I am on the sidelines while this precious time that I'm supposed to be living passes me by? And, eventually that became not something I wanted to trade in anymore, so that other people didn't have a reaction, so that there wasn't confrontation. I learned how to handle the confrontation and live through people's reactions. I learned how to do that. And, but being all enmeshed with bad coping mechanisms, full of trauma, being that alcoholic, it wasn't till sober time passed that I really dove into that stuff. Like, so key to get there, and so worth it. So worth it.